Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Coach's Kitchen. You guys are going to see that I'm in a new kitchen that you haven't seen on the channel yet, so really excited to make my first video in this kitchen. Today I'm going to be making a Cajun shrimp. It'll be some sauteed shrimp with an Alfredo sauce over some pasta. Hope you guys enjoy. Today we have an honored guest on the channel. It's Mrs. Coach Jensen.
Hi. I didn't like that. I don't know why I did.
Today, I'm happy to announce that we have an honored guest on the channel. Mrs. Coach Jensen will be joining us.
Hey, what's up, fam? All right, I am making bread from my sourdough discard. So I'm just kind of a little sourdough scientist right now. Every day you have to feed this thing. And when you do that, you have to discard some of it. So I'm going to make some bread with some of that discard because we don't want to waste some good resources. So here, whoa, my dough, dough has been sitting out for 2 hours. This is my first time making bread, so we're gonna be doing this together.
So Mrs. Coach Jensen is going to explain the sourdough process a little bit and what you actually have to do to make this sourdough.
Mm-hmm. So I'm still learning. So sourdough is a live bacteria, I guess. It's really good for your gut, your tummy. But every day you have to feed this. So you start off with a little bit of bread flour. So you do kind of about a cup of flour, and then you feed it half a cup of water. And you have to do this every single day. So I'm discarding, so meaning you throw away about half of it each day. But I'm just trying to be a little bit creative because I don't want to toss the stuff. So this morning I tried bagels with the discard, and now we're going to make some bread.
And now what are we doing with that towel?
So we're covering it up, and we're going to let it rise for 30 more minutes, and then we're going to pop it in the oven. Hopefully we produce some bread. As Coach Jensen would say, oh baby, the dough has risen. Now we're going to pop this into the oven. Excuse me, honey.
What's up, honey?
So this is set at 375 degrees, and we are going to put it into the oven for 45 minutes.
All right, guys, here's my shrimp that's been marinating for a couple hours. So to start with, I always like to use wild-caught shrimp rather than farm-raised. In farm-raised conditions, they have little pens in the water, and they cram a ton of them in there together. They often have to use antibiotics because there's a lot of different diseases that go around the pens. And they're fed like old products like corn and soy, stuff that's not very healthy. It's not part of a natural shrimp's diet. So I always like to get the wild-caught shrimp. So what I did was just take a Ziploc bag, I poured some olive oil in there, and then I put my little spice mix on. And so
Spicy.
I don't really measure out the spices. I just kind of do what I think is enough, and what I think that me and Mrs. Coach Jensen will like. So I put some crushed red peppers, some regular black pepper, some salt, some paprika, some chili powder, some garlic powder, and a little shake of turmeric in here. And then I just make sure that it's all covered. All the shrimp is getting kind of an equal amount, move it around a little bit, and then I just let it sit in the fridge for about 2 hours just to let some of those flavors infuse into the shrimp so that the flavors are really going to pop when I cook it.
Shrimp is life.
The next step is to get all of our vegetables ready. So I've got an organic zucchini, I've got an organic orange bell pepper, a couple serrano peppers, which are pretty spicy, and then I've got one nice big poblano pepper and some spinach. So these are some nice vegetables that I like to use with most of my meals. Just a good way to get some extra nutrients in and really make sure we're getting a balanced diet with a lot of vitamins. All right, we're gonna start the sauteing process now. So I've got some avocado oil. Gonna drop these veggies on. Gonna get them mostly cooked, and then I'm gonna put them to the side, pop the shrimp in that pan, and then put the vegetables back in once the shrimp is done cooking. Then we'll add it all to the pasta mix at the end.
All right, so we have about 7 minutes left on our bread. We're just gonna check in on it. It's smelling real good. The aromas in this kitchen. Oh, all right. Starting to get a little bit of that golden brown color.
All right, we're gonna put these veggies on the pan. They don't need to cook real long. We'll probably saute them for about 5 or 6 minutes. Just till they start to get a little bit soft. And then we'll take them out and proceed with the meal here. All right, guys, looks like it's time to take out the bread. This is the second attempt at a sourdough loaf. Looks like it came out a lot better than the first one so far.
We have the bread now on a cooling rack. Isn't she a beaut? Yeah. All right, look at that.
So you just want to stir everything around, make sure it's all getting cooked evenly. So I'll probably give these about another minute and a half. A lot of them are starting to soften up, but a couple pieces that look like they need a little more time. And I'm not going to cook these all the way through because I'm going to end up throwing them back in with the shrimp. So I just want to get them softened up a little bit here to get us ready. All right, I just pulled the veggies off. I'm gonna put a little bit more avocado oil on there. And then we're gonna put these shrimp on. The water is just starting to come to a boil a little bit. So pretty soon we'll put our spaghetti noodles in there, and this meal's really starting to come together. All right, so now this water's coming to a smooth boil here. We're gonna use quite a bit of pasta because I've got a lot of veggies and quite a bit of shrimp. And we want to make a few meals out of this so we've got something to take to work tomorrow, possibly even the next day. So what I like to do with my spaghetti is actually break it in half so that it fits in the pot a lot better. So there we go. Just pop it right in, and then it can all get covered by the water so that it cooks evenly. And we don't really care if it's shorter because that's actually more convenient for us to put in our meals anyway. All right, so these shrimp are pretty much done cooking already. You can see they've turned from kind of clear or see-through to more of a white color, and they're starting to curl up a little bit. So these guys are just about done. I'm gonna go ahead and reintroduce my vegetables and let all the flavors meld together here. All right, so things are really starting to pick up here. We've got the pasta that's coming to a nice boil. We've got about 8.5 minutes left on that. Our shrimp is really going. And I'm going to reintroduce the vegetable medley here. Oh man, I wish you guys could smell all the smells that are coming out of this kitchen right now between the bread, the shrimp, the veggies. You're starting to be able to smell that pasta a little bit. It's just wonderful in here. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some spinach. And then that spinach will look really big at first. And then as it cooks down, it'll reduce a lot in size. I just want to make sure that all those flavors are getting blended together here. And this is going to be a really, really nice dish. So here goes some spinach. And it's going to start off nice and big, covering up the whole thing. If you see a little piece like that that's sort of withered, You just want to pick those out. Those aren't the greatest, aren't the freshest. These all look pretty good here. And we'll check back in about 2 or 3 minutes, and you guys are going to see that spinach is really reduced in size. All right, so we've got about 2.5 minutes left on the noodles. They're starting to soften up. They smell really good. Just wait a little bit more till they get al dente. And then I've got my shrimp and veggie mix right here, which is done cooking. You can see the shrimp looks perfect. That spinach has really cooked down a lot. We've got everything with the flavors blending, ready to go. Now we're just waiting on those noodles. As soon as those are done, we'll strain them and we'll start bringing everything together.
All right, moment of truth. We let the bread cool down on this pulling rack. The texture of it feels really good. I know I follow a lot of bread people on TikTok, and you gotta check the flakiness there. Sounds like perfection.
Sounds perfectly flaky.
Bring it over here, and I believe this is the perfect knife to cut bread.
Bread knife.
All right, just gotta really grip it.
Ooh, you can see some steam coming out of there, still nice and warm inside. Oh, baby.
Looks like slice there.
Can't wait to put some butter on that.
Ooh, that looks good.
So what are your thoughts after cutting it, Shell?
The texture, I'm happy with the texture. My first bread loaf I tried to make, I used almond flour and it just turned into a crumbly mess. So I'm happy with this, so.
And now for the moment of truth. I'm gonna try the bread for the first time. I'm not lying, Michelle ate that little piece there, but this is gonna be my first real original reaction. The middle is so soft. Crust is nice and perfectly crusty. I'm gonna melt that butter on there a little bit more. Wow, that's probably one of the best breads that I've had in my entire life, honestly. This is amazing. All right, so the noodles are done. Drained them out. Now they're ready to go. We're gonna bring everything together here. So I'm gonna put my noodles here. Next thing I'm gonna do is bring the shrimp and the vegetable medley on in. Oh, dropped one little piece of zucchini there. No worries. And this has a lot of avocado oil left in it, and then the olive oil that the shrimp are marinating in. So a decent amount of juice and moisture already. We're gonna put this in, we're gonna stir it all up, and then we're gonna start adding some sauce and watch how the consistency changes. It gets nice and creamy. Boy, this smells good. All right, so we've got that pretty well mixed together. The first thing I'm gonna put in is this Alfredo sauce made by Rouse. We got a really good deal on this at Costco. I don't remember how much it came out to, but it was like less than half of what Alfredo normally costs. And this is a good trusted brand that we go with pretty often, specifically for the marinara sauce. Put it in. Ooh. Oh, baby. All right, so we'll stir that up a little bit. Make sure everything we've got gets coated in some of that beautiful Alfredo sauce. Alfredo sauce is something that I've never made on my own before. I've heard that it's not too difficult to do. Really like to try it out sometime. So maybe someday in the future I'll experiment with an Alfredo sauce. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a Coach's Kitchen video about trying to make homemade Alfredo sauce. If we get enough comments, I might give it a try. So now we've got a pretty nice mixture here. It's mostly the creamy sauce, You can see some of the herbs and the seasoning from the shrimp mixing in there. And what we're gonna do is put a little bit of this Mama Letizia's thick, rich, and garlicky pizziola gravy that we got from the farmer's market, just to give it a little extra flavor, a little extra kick. Oh, this is one of the best sauces that I've ever had in my entire life. It's just somebody local who makes this herself and then sells it at the farmer's market. Beautiful, clean ingredients, good people. We love this sauce. So I'm not gonna do a ton, just about that much to give it that added layer of flavor. Put a little bit of zestiness and kick in there.
It's like a pink Alfredo sauce.
Mm-hmm. Just like that. A nice little creamy roast. And now we're gonna do just a splash more of that tomato sauce. I guess 2 splashes. And now this is just about ready, guys. So we're gonna turn off the camera, we'll plate it up, and then we'll get back with you guys for the moment you've all been waiting for, the taste test. And now it's time for the moment of truth, the taste test. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get a bite that's got everything in it. I've got some of the peppers here. That creamy sauce. And a big old bad boy shrimp. And let's see how it is. First thing that stands out is a little bit of spiciness. We got the creaminess from the Alfredo, nice shrimp flavor. It's the first time I've ever made this dish. I'd say I'm really happy with how it turned out. Now what I'm really excited to do is take some of this bread and mop up a little bit of that sauce with it. Get all these juicy flavors in there. Let's see how that tastes. Wow, guys. This might have to be a staple in our diet. This is one of the best meals I've maybe ever made. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Mrs. Coach Jensen's bread was amazing. Adds a ton to the meal, and I'd say as a team, we knocked it out of the park. If you guys have watched this far, please leave a comment. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting. I love you guys. I'm so thankful that I have you guys in my life to view these videos, and I'll see you next time. Stay happy, stay healthy.